Hey everybody, Scott Steen with the winnersandwhiners.com coming to you from the Neil Price Studio deep in the bowels of the Winners and Whiners Sports and Entertainment Complex to bring you today's Deep 3. As always, don't forget to mash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And of course, check out Winners and Whiners and StatSalt.com for all of the deep dives into all the college games every single day. Man, if there's a game that we're not touching on, head on over there and check it out. You'll find a lot of information at both those sites. They're totally different sites, but they're set up the same way, and so you can actually get a couple different opinions on the same game, and not just your sides and your totals, but you got your halftime bets, your props, your derivatives as well. So get over there and take a look, won't you please? And as always, tell us what you're playing. Tell us if you're fading me. Tell us if you're tailing me, and tell us most importantly what you're playing. What are you on? What have you popped in the oven, set the timer for, and dinged? And it's tell us what those nice, hot, puffy winners look like. And if you get it, not only will you win money from your bet, I assume. We're not just doing this for matchsticks, but even more importantly than the money, something that after the money is gone, you'll still have the joy and the pride of getting your name mentioned in the shoutouts. Boy, that'll be fun. So make sure you do that. And let me know what you're playing today, because there's a bunch of games out there. I'm curious how you guys are capping these. Alrighty. As always, we'll do a quick recap on the free side. We went 2-0-1 today, as we got the VMI over in, we got the Detroit Pistons over in, and VCU ended up pushing as the dude buried a three with under 30 seconds left, and VCU just couldn't put one more biscuit in the basket for us. So it ends up pushing the 12 points. On the premium side, kind of an ugly day. We went 1-3. We hit the Clippers. We had Orlando -7. They had a 19-point lead at the end of the third quarter, and they ended up scoring 19 points in the fourth quarter to win by 5 and miss our cover of 7. And then we had the Campbell Camels and Chris Clemens, the number 4 scorer in NCAA history. Well, we put the jinx on him. First time I bet on Chris Clemens, and he had an absolutely dreadful day as the Camels actually went down to defeat on their home court. And for fun, I said, hey, hold my beer. Let's see if I can get an even worse pick than that. And lo and behold, I could. I sent out Santa Clara last night as a late-night play, and thought it looked real solid, and it was not. They got absolutely lit up, and it did not go well for us. They got lit up by the San Diego Toreros. So 1-3 we go, but man, we're just getting rolling on college basketball. So I ain't worried about it. We're kept our powder dry, and we are moving on. All right. Oh, before I get started, I want to tell you a quick story, and it probably won't be quick. You know how I am. So I woke up this morning to an email from one of our viewers that he had sent to the owner of both the website StatSalt and Winners and Whiners, and the owner had forwarded on to me, and he had implored the owner of our company to make me stop being so damn goofy. And you know that it was very important to him because he wrote the entire email in all caps. So that's how you knew it was serious. I'll spare you the details, but he did not get the response from our owner that he was looking for. So, but here's the deal, okay? I'm here to help. I want everybody to enjoy our videos. I want everybody to enjoy what I'm doing. So I have 3 options. So apparently there's three options here, okay? Number 1, get me to stop being goofy. He really liked Ben the Pen. Ben goes right to it. No chatter, got right to the picks, all right? So he wants me to be like that. So the odds are that I'm going to be like that, stop being goofy. Let me tell you a quick story, even a story within a story. Give you a little insight into where I'm at. When I was 4 years old, I pulled the fire alarm at a retirement home in Jamestown, North Dakota, because I thought that would be funny. It was not. My parents did not think it was funny. The residents did not think it was funny, nor did the 2 fire trucks that showed up from the Jamestown, North Dakota Fire Department think it was the least bit humorous, all right? When I was 5 years old, I went clothes shopping with my mom, got separated from her, and thought it would be funny. There was an open pedestal, and I stood on that pedestal still as I could be, and I became a boy mannequin. My mom walked by me 4 different times, and I almost fucking broke down laughing. Again, I thought it was very funny. She, not quite so amused. When I was 6 years old, my parents were having a dinner party. I went to take a bath, get ready for bed. I had a tube of this stuff called vampire blood. I squeezed it on my forehead and all around my face. I jumped up in the bathtub and made a huge noise and then laid down with my head against the tub and fake blood streaming out of my head. Once again, I thought it was high fucking hilarious. You know who didn't? My parents. And then when I was 7, I got sent home from school from the 1st grade because I was repeatedly falling backwards out of my chair just to get a laugh. And I would not stop. So, now, fast forward 50 years later, so what do you think the odds are that being goofy is not pretty well ingrained in my psyche? So, let's throw that option out. That's not going to happen. All right. Option number 2 to make you happy. Join the premium service. Because I do the video every day for premium service, and I just do the picks. Nothing else. I just get right to the picks. I recap yesterday's action and go right to the picks, and we're done. 5 minutes. Boom. You'd love it. By the way, if anybody is interested in the premium picks, you can check me out. We don't have a public link because we're trying to keep the numbers kind of small. Because last time we kind of got overwhelmed, and we're trying to stop that from happening. So we're just opening it up to people that watch the videos. So if you're interested, hit me up at scott@winnersandwiners.com or at customer service at winnersandwiners.com, and we can hook you up with the premium service. It's a reasonable deal. It's like I said yesterday, it's about a half a price of a cup of coffee. So every day. So yeah, do check that out if you want. A nice part about that, you get access to me, as many people will like talk to me all day long and ask me to cap games that are not on the sheet or different opinions. So check that out as well. So you could join that the premium service, and then you would boom get right to it. 5 minutes, you'd love it. Okay, here's the third option, and this is the one. If you need to take notes here, I want you to do it. Okay, so as you're looking at the video screen, you're watching me right now. Okay, in the bottom left part, at the bottom, you'll see a dot that's kind of got a line by it. Okay, you with me? All right, take your mouse and go over to that dot, and then click on your mouse the left part as you're over that dot. Okay, don't do it. Okay, you back now? All right, good. So what you want to do at the beginning of the videos, you want to take that mouse, click on that little circle thing, and you want to slide it across until I'm no longer telling bad jokes or yapping about mascots. If you stop it, and I'm talking and I say something about what a stupid nickname the Jackrabbits are, then you just keep moving it until I start talking about games. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because if it comes and I'm talking in the middle of a game, then you got to hit that little dot, and you got to slide it back the other way just a little bit till I get to the end of the games. All right, so now we go. We do the 3 games, boom, 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 boom. Now, when I say head back to the window, what you do, this is where it is very important, and it kind of gets tricky. You take your mouse, and then you slide it, and there's a little square down at the bottom. There's a little square. Put your mouse over that, left click again, boom, it's over. You can move on. How about it? That's all I'm saying. So I didn't know if you thought about that. So there's 3 options, 2 very viable options, and one of them ain't going to happen. So there we go. Hope it's square. Hope I've made everybody happy. Oh, and he threatened to take 15 friends with him. So I hope that you and your 15 friends will find one of these solutions to your liking. All right, let's move on with our picks, shall we? First of all, starting off in the SEC as Texas A&M travels to Mississippi State to take on them Bulldogs. Bulldogs laying double-digit wood, -12. And I note that the Bulldogs have found another gear on the defensive end of the court. They've given up just 66 points per game in their last 8, and that includes road games against Tennessee and Auburn. They're even better at home, giving up just 65.2 points per game in their last 5 home contests, and that includes a game against Kentucky. The Aggies, meanwhile, are struggling to score, failing to shoot over 41% in 4 of their last 5. Who's the 5th team, you might wonder? Vanderbilt. So they're not even like, a real SEC team. 41% for their last 5, and now they get a red-hot defensive team as a road game. No, thank you. I will take the Mississippi State Bulldogs right here to cover up 12 points. All right, moving on to the WAC. It's the WAC. This is a weird conference, man. This covers from Chicago, the West Coast Athletic Conference. Of course, Chicago is in that as well. As covers everything from Chicago to the West Coast. We're looking at Cal Baptist taking on New Mexico State. It is a home game for New Mexico State. And this game, we don't have an official number on it, but it should come out somewhere in the neighborhood of minus 17.5 in favor of the New Mexico State Aggies. And that's the number we're laying right here. I'm not afraid of a big number. New Mexico State is a real team in a real bad conference. The Aggies play this weird home and home series with actual teams, 3 actual teams from real conferences, including New Mexico, Washington State, and UTEP. They played home and home against all 3 of those teams. Of those 6 games, they lost exactly 0. They also beat Colorado State by 20 on the road and actually held a halftime lead against the Jayhawks in Kansas City before ultimately losing by 3. Like I said, real deal. Now, you're going to look at this team, you're going to look at this, and you're going to look it up and you go, but they lost to Cal Baptist. What's up, man? Why are you telling us to lay 17 points against a team they've already lost to? Let me tell you a story about Cal Baptist. This is their first year in D1. That game against New Mexico State was their first ever home conference game. It was actually their first conference game, and everybody was fired up. In the meanwhile, New Mexico State was absolutely ice freaking cold. They scored just 13 points in the first 14 minutes. They ended up losing that game by 6, so they actually beat them for the rest of the way, but the damage has been done. Give me New Mexico State. Better team, way better team, in a revenge spot right here against Cal Baptist. And finally, if that was a little too much of a headliner play for you, how about this one? I got Monmouth at Quinnipiac. The Quinnipiacs are giving away 2.5 points, and I'm on the favorite once again right here. Between these two teams, this is a weird stat. Between these two teams, they have covered just one time as a losing team. In other words, when they lose, they lose. Stranger yet, every time they've won, they've covered. Both of these teams, with the only exception of one Quinnipiac game where they won by 2 when they were favored by 2, so they pushed. What does all that mean? Well, a couple of things. It means, number one, if you fade me on this pick and take Monmouth, you should definitely bet the money line and say screw you to the points. And if you tail us, you should definitely lay the points. All right? The Bobcats have won and, of course, covered 6 of their last 9, while the Monmouth Hawks are just 2-4 in their last 6. Quinnipiac has won and covered both games against Monmouth right here. I don't think anything changes. Give me the Quinnipiac Bobcats laying the 2.5 points. New Mexico State Aggies minus 17.5, and those Mississippi State Bulldogs. We're getting pretty chalky here so far. Minus the 12. And at the end of these 3 games, you guys can join me on our chalky journey as we head back to the window. Click, click, square, squares, click. Okay. All right. For those of you still here, let's do some shout-outs, shall we? Mike Davenport, tailing our deep 3. Nice job, Mike. Got a 2 wins for your trouble there and a push. He thinks the hot streak starts this weekend. I like the way you're thinking, Mike. We brought home a couple winners on Friday, and we're ready to keep it going. Guess who's back? Back again. It's Marshall Mathers, everybody. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. He's been on fire lately, in fuego. He had Russell Westbrook to score 30-plus and win the game. Ooh, they did not do that. They did. I'm sure. I didn't see what Russ put up, but I know they did not win because we had the other side of that one. Sorry, brother, but welcome back, and hope to get your thought on all the weekend games. We're excited to have you back with us. Chucky P, speaking of excited to have him around, he had that Buffalo under 163. He had Charlotte under 234. And he had Golden State over 236. Yeah, I didn't see a total on that. I knew I had to look up a game here before I did this. Chucky, I'm sorry about that, brother. I hope that one came in for you. Hammered Hank, well, okay, now, he had Eastern Michigan plus 9. And just as soon as I say that, of course, Hammered Hank has Golden State under 235.5. All right, one of you guys is going to be pissed. So I hope one of you won. Yeah, that would be awful if it ended up on 236 where Chuck pushes and Hank loses by a half. But Yeah, so he also had the VMI over 157.5. Hey, there was a good pick. I heard somebody heard a cool guy made that one. Dr. Packenwood, 2, because somebody already took Dr. Packenwood. He loved our little "Who's Your Daddy" joke. So for everybody that my little jokes annoy, we got some Dr. Packenwoods that say, "Hey, keep those goofy dad jokes coming, you bastard." All right, I'll do it. The Legion of Picks. He had Loyola Chicago, he had Winnipeg, he had Central Michigan, and he had over in the VMI game. Brian F. had the Pistons, the astute Aardvark. He had VMI, Vatek, and he tailed us on to VCU. That's a push. Yeah. Jimmy Jack, 35. Jimmy Jack, 35, and I don't care. All right, he's taking Kent State minus 2.5 and the under 136.5. Oh, yeah, that's right. It was Akron Day. It was Akron, and the under did come in, and I think the first half under came in as well. Yes, I laid off of them, so all you guys that remember to get down on this one, you're welcome. Hope you all did very well. Sam S., he gave a shout out to Jimmy Jack. Said thanks for the parlay, and he didn't have to sweat it at all. Nice job, Jimmy Jack. That's well done, my friend. Miguel and Nola tailing us today. He had the VMI over 156. He had Detroit, and he's got a deep 3 too. He had Maryland, SIU minus 3, and Loyola Chicago. That's the way to get on those deep 3, baby. That's how it's done right there. He would deep 3 beat me. He went 3-0 where we only went 2-0-1. Nice job, Miguel. And it's Hammer and Hank. He said he likes that SIU minus 3. That's what I'm talking about. You guys putting out plays, other guys jumping on it, everybody cashing goddamn tickets. Right on. Nice job, Hammer and Hank. And very, very nice getting down on SIU. C-Dub had Norwich to win. He had Union, Berlin, and he had Midgetland again. He had Midgetland over 2.5. Of course, that came in. You know Midgetland. They can't stop them. You can only hope to contain them. PMC 05 had Detroit minus the 3.5 and the under. He had Houston minus 7, and he had the Western Carolina game over. Henry M. had the Akron. Oh, he asked me about the first half under. No, I laid off of that for you guys. That was my gift to you, so everybody would win. I have absolutely been stone cold on Akron last couple times out, so I laid off so you guys could win. Junior Figueroa, he had the Clippers minus 2, and they got it done. Super Cisco had the Bradley, Missouri State under 124 and the Raptors. Here's a little tip. Here's a little bonus if you stuck with me to the end. You guys might have seen this, you might not have, but I'm going to share it with you for those that don't know it. The arena in St. Louis, I don't know what it's called. It used to be called the Scott Trade Center. Of course, somebody else bought it and paid more. But it is a notorious court of unders. Since they've played the tournament there, the under has cashed 65% of the times, and that's not nothing. So keep an eye. Now they've really started to adjust the line, so you've really got to look for value. In fact, I had somebody ask me about the early game there, and I suggested taking the over because it was 116. And that ended up, they ended up getting it done. So be careful, but there is some undervalue, I think, still to be had in the right situation. Super Cisco, had that under, he had the Raptors. Paige Waller, he had his first period action going on as he had the Washington minus a half a goal. And he had Golden State minus 6.5. And I know they were way up. I assume they covered. And he had Maryland in the college basketball world. Nice shot, Peachy. Mikey B had Detroit. He had Buffalo. He had Buffalo. I don't know. He must have had a teaser on that one. He had VMI over 150. Yeah, he's teasing. And he had the Akron under at halftime. Nice job, Mikey B. Glad we could bring that one in for you as well. All right, guys. That's it for today. Hope we've all had some fun. Hope we've learned something. And remember, that little slider, that little thing there at the bottom, that is your friend. All right? Everybody have a great day. Good luck, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.